snowing outside in southern Florida today, but we don't care. We are indoors at beautiful Marlins Park, opened up in 2012. What a great thing it's been for baseball down here, because it's possible there would not be one game played this weekend without that roof over our heads. So the Nats, Simonage on the fish, 9 in a row. They've outscored him 62-17, 7 runs a game, batting average, ERA, the pitching, the hitting, the defense, everything adding up for the Nats against the Marlins. And going back to the start of last season now, 14-6 against these guys. So it's that so-called soft part of the schedule. You're playing big league ball clubs, but the Nats are winning the games they're supposed to win right now.
Especially in your division. You want to get a little separation from the team that's right behind you, or at least the last place team. They're taking care of business. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and a big one here today.
Several years ago, Bryce Harper had a huge division series, parlayed that into a great season the following year. We're hoping Michael A. Taylor does the same thing after his heroics in Chicago last season.
Well, you talk about what he did on the biggest stage last year. 5 for 15, 2 home runs, 8 RBI. I mean, he made great plays. He got clutch hits, the grand slam in Chicago. Then all of a sudden on Tuesday, he starts to pick up his game a little bit. A 99-mile-an-hour throw to home to get Jose Perella. They look at the replay. He had the walk-off knock on a 3-2 slider off the center field wall. Don't forget, this is a guy last year that hit 271, 19 home runs, 53 RBI, and he stole 17 bases. So a great game last night. He's starting to turn it around. This guy can hit. He just has to know that he can hit, because he's one of the best center fielders in baseball.
Yeah, he's going to hit for power. He's going to take some hits away, and then he'll plug the gap out in left center late in the ball game. So Michael A. getting it done for the Nats. You were probably his biggest booster during the time that he was struggling over the last couple weeks. I think your point about him being close to home, maybe got the off day, visited with his family up in Lauderdale, and now here he goes.
Yeah, and maybe relax a little bit, see some pitches, really lock in the strike zone. Davey Martinez said he's really concentrating at swinging at strikes right now. So it's just a matter of relaxation and letting your athletic ability take over, because he has tons.
We hope Tanner does the same thing today, because he watched Max last night. You know he did. He knows that Max didn't have his best stuff, but he still found a way to win. This guy is one of the hardest to hit in baseball. Top 6 in opponents' batting average. More on the pitching matchup. Game 2 ahead in Miami. By PNC Bank, there's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. And by American Standard Heating and Air, find your local independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. Orange Bowl used to sit right where we are in Little Havana, just a couple of miles, 2 to be exact, west of downtown. Nats Marlins, Washington dominating this Miami team, winning 9 in a row. And the starters were dominating, and FP is kind of interesting. 3 runs or fewer as far as the earned runs go by starters. The streak came to an end last night, ironically, with Max Scherzer on the mound. But Max showed he can still win a ball game even when not everything goes right. And that's a lesson for a lot of pitchers as we look at this really good list.
Yeah, keep your team in the ball game. 5 games over 500. They've done it with pitching. I think that graphic tells you how they've been 5 games over. And there's Tanner Roark this month. Not getting a lot of run support. Check the column all the way to the right. Hopefully the Nats can figure out Wei-Yin Chen here today.
Yeah, that's the 8th lowest run support in the National League. Wei-Yin Chen is a totally different pitcher in this ballpark than he is everywhere else around baseball.
Yeah, he's nails here, maybe confident that the ball's not going to carry, and he's got a big ballpark behind him. But when you talk about his fastball, he throws it 63% of the time, and opponents hitting 185 against the fastball. We'll get into the numbers against his off-speed. That's what you want to hit.
Yeah, only 1 in 5 career against the Washington Nationals. And our third baseman starting to make regular visits to second base. Tony Dubak's had a big game here last night. 3 hits and a walk, a big double. He has been on base 14 of his last 15 games. First in homers, and Mark Reynolds right in the middle of everything in his first 23 at-bats spanning 8 games for the Nats. 4 long balls already. Unbelievable. So the Nats, well, their starters are the winners. The Marlins, their relievers get the majority of their decisions on the W side of the ledger. And there's the comparison. Wei-Yin Chen under a run ERA here, almost 11 on the road.
Yeah, he gave up 4 runs at Cincinnati, 9 at Chicago, so 2 road starts at some small ballparks.
So Bryce, 4 games, 6 for his last 17. As we check out the lineup, he's 5 of 18 against Wei-Yin Chen. And you wonder if Davey Martinez was maybe tempted to put Matt Adams in left field today. Young Juan Soto gets the call there. And the red-hot Michael A. Taylor suddenly. So here's Chen, career 54 and 40. It's his 150th big league start, 32 years of age.
Yeah, last start on the 20th at Atlanta, no decision. A couple of runs in 5 1/3 innings of work. Gave up 5 hits, struck out 5 Braves. So I mentioned the 185 against the fastball, 600 against his curve, 400 against his slider, and 571 against his change. He does throw the fastball a lot, but the off-speed has been less than effective so far this year. And defense for the Marlins behind Chen, Dietrich, Brinson, Anderson in the outfield, Riddle, Rojas left side, Castro, Bohr right side, and JT Real Muto. A couple of JTs in the lineup today. JT catching and JT at short.
Yeah, the one at shortstop called up to replace Martin Prado, who went out after last night's game with a left hamstring strain. So JT Riddle got some big league time last year. By the way, have to tell you, Red Sox got 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th at Fenway. 8-5, they lead the Braves as they try to give the Nats a little more help today. Washington 2 back of Atlanta. It's 4-10 in Miami. Trey's ready. Here comes the first one. Fastball away.
Digging the unis, digging the Sox.
Yeah, Memorial Weekend commencing. And that's a fastball on the edge, says Angel Hernandez in his 28th big league season.
Those are strong. Love those.
I didn't know those were Sox. I thought that was the infield grass. Completely hidden from me.
And the hats too. Both clubs hats. Wait till you see the Nats.
Cool.
Kind of same thing with the curly W on top. There they are.
Ryan looked good taking some grounders during BP today for a little update. 1-2 to Turner. Trey 2 for 5 with a home run against Wei-Yin Chen. And on a 6-game streak with 8 base hits. To left, coming Wei-Yin Dietrich. He's going to get to it for the first out. Over the longer haul, 22 ball games. Trey Turner's batting over 300. So here comes Bryce. Big hit last night. That double just to the right of the third base bag, were the second and third runs knocked in that decisive 3-run 7th inning.
Cool cleats. Cleats check.
There's Air Force One and there's Big Red One. Against Chen, Bryce 5 of 18, 4 RBIs. Oh, and 2. Now the third baseman Miguel Rojas will take over on the right side of the infield as he overlaps Riddle, the shortstop. So with Prado injured, Rojas moved to third and Riddle called up.
Those cleats are honoring the 1st Infantry Division, which is the oldest serving division in the U.S. Army. Big Red One. Very cool.
Yeah. Target away, 1-2.
Now, Chen's one of those guys that gives you that slow delivery and then the fastball kind of pops on you. It plays up from the 90-91. And Bryce working on maybe standing a little more upright today against Chen, getting out of that crouch a little bit, getting on top of it.
Swing and a miss, 90 going away. 2 down. Chen 15 strikeouts in 23 innings, 12 walks.
Yeah, the rear end kind of going toward the dugout and the fastball away, but that's the way he hit the double last night off Conley. That time he couldn't extend far enough to put that ball in play.
Anthony Rendon showed up at the ballpark yesterday hitting .248. Showed up today hitting .265. Chen's been a tough matchup for him, 1 for 9.
If you listen closely, you can hear the conversations.
And on the target in, check swing.
Well, this is Bryce after his last at-bat, after the strikeout in the dugout. Sometimes this is good for you, man. Just let it all out. And then it's gone. You turn the page and have a productive 3 more at-bats. If that's the part of your game that gets you going, so be it. Some of the best players I've played with lost it after strikeouts.
That's a fair ball. Rojas to a sliding stop, and he makes an outstanding throw. In the air with a strikeout, and on the ground, the Nats go 1-2-3 against Wei-Yin Chen. Tanner Roark, 5-8 career against the Marlins. After that, Jim, he goes to work. Marlins are last in baseball in runs, homers, and steals. 12th in batting average at .231. Darlin Castro, probably their most consistent hitter this year. So last 9 ball games, he has 13 hits. He's hitting .317 at home, and even before he became a Marlin, he liked it here. .327 career at Marlins Park. FP will get you updated on Tanner Roark as the first one fouled by Dietrich, out of play.
There's the Arsenal. Opponents hit .230 against the fastball, 121 against the slider, 182 against the curveball, just 200 against the change. So hits tough to come by against Tanner Roark, and the average against would kind of add to that. 201 total.
Dietrich at .256. 89 upstairs, moving away from him. He was in the number 6 hole last night, went 1 for 4 with a game tying 2-run homer against Max Scherzer. 5 for 17 career against Tanner.
Tanner going with the Red Sox. He's superstitious. Opted not to go with the camouflage. I'm just going to say he didn't match the giraffes with his animals. That's all I'm going to say. He did. Look at that. He's all matched with the Under Armour camo.
This guy comes to war every night, doesn't he, Dietrich? He's one of those guys, if he's on the other team, you don't like him a whole lot. But if he's on your team, he's digging hard and doing whatever he can to help you win. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside out swing, 2 hops. Rendon with a quick release.
Their defense today: Soto, Taylor, Harper, your outfield. Turner, Defoe going to turn some 2s up the middle. Rendon and Reynolds at the corners, and Pedro Severino behind the plate. Mark Reynolds gets the start at first base. Get this, he's 7 for his last 11 against left-handed pitching for a .636 average, so that's why he's in there today. Pretty good platoon they got working at first right now with Ryan Hurt. Same cleats as Bryce. He's matching.
In his first 8 games and more on this when he comes up to hit. No player in the last 6 or 7 years has made a more dramatic impact coming to a new ball club in his first 8 games and has this guy. It was 2 weeks ago tonight when he walked into the hotel in Phoenix and said, "Hey guys." Since then, outstanding. Tanner around the plate. JT Realmuto, 8 for 23 against him. Marlins catcher checks in at .311 after a 1 for 5 last night. Out of play.
Don Mattingly was asked in a radio interview yesterday if they were going to trade JT Realmuto, and he said no. So we had some talks in spring training, but this guy's a cornerstone. We think we can win a championship built around our catcher. So he's not going anywhere. We'll see about that. But we talked about his leadership ability, his skills as a catcher, his ability to throw. And if you missed it last night, 1.76. He threw out Ahmed Rosario on Sunday. That's the quickest pop time in the history of the StatCast era. So he can throw, he can run, he can hit, he can do it all.
2-2 with one out. Tapper left side. Somebody's got to be in a hurry. It's Turner. And Trey, it was a do-or-die play for the bare hand. And the Marlins will have their first base hit. Catcher who runs well.
Yeah, if he barehands this or not, it's irrelevant because Realmuto can run, as we were just saying. He's safe all the way. Even if Fields just throws a bullet right on the money, he's safe. He's upset because he didn't get to see the finished product, but JT was going to be safe either way.
Tanner Roark and Justin Bohr. These guys have had some battles. 26 official at bats, 5 hits, 3 of them homers, 8 RBIs. Tanner's walked him 3 times, but he's also struck him out 6 times. Nice sharp curveball. 1-1. Into center. Michael A. Taylor didn't have to move much to his right. 2 down. Sometimes you pick up a bunch of youngsters in a deal for a veteran. Sometimes you get a veteran. What the Marlins got is part of the Giancarlo Stanton deal. Castro with a young shortstop and a young pitcher. 282 career hitter in 8 previous years, 6 of those with the Cubs. And he's off to a good start as a Marlin, hitting .295. Eighth in the league in hits. Hot shot. Turner to his left. Long throw and right on target to Reynolds.
Long throw.
That was outstanding. Marlins strand a runner.
Look where he's at. I mean, short center field. Spin move, let it eat. Nice pick by Reynolds.
exactly a normal spring for Reynolds, who didn't sign a minor league deal with the Nats until early April and wasn't called up to the big leagues until 2 weeks ago. I asked Reynolds earlier today whether this offseason, in which he didn't get a guaranteed big league offer, has him appreciating being up here anymore now that he's back up. And he said he definitely has a different perspective on things now. He's loving having the competition every night, just being around the guys in the clubhouse, joking around, talking trash to teammates. And after the year he had last year, Reynolds said he wasn't ready to shut the door yet. Certainly things didn't develop as he would have liked this offseason, but he's really enjoying his time with the Nats so far, and guys, just being back in the majors again after what really was a bizarre offseason for him.
Absolutely one of those great hitters out there. Unemployed for a while, but no longer. You know, and Mark has a chance in the not too distant future to make it to 300 career home runs. Sitting at 285 right now with his 4 as a Nat in 8 games. 3 for 7 career against Chen with 2 homers and 4 batted in.
Well, his current pace, he'll do it next week. 2 multi-home run games already as a Nat.
1-1, chopper left side. Rojas played that second hop off to his left, and that's 4 straight for Chen. Juan Soto gets the start today in left. 3 for 13 in 5 games with 4 walks.
If Juan is thinking left center here, he has the right game plan against Chen.
That ball pulled with authority to right. Uncatchable for Brian Anderson. Soto, a touch of the bag on his way to second. So the first pitch he took the other way. Second one he turned on. And that's his first big league double.
Like I said, if Juan is thinking pull the tar out of Wei and Chen, he's got the right approach. But seriously, if you get your hands inside one ball the other way, it allows you to keep this ball fair and not hook and foul. It was a fastball in from Chen that he got his hands inside. So a double with 1 out in the second for Juan Soto, and for the first time, maybe the second time, there goes the no-hitter. 106 miles an hour. That was a sweet swing.
Back in plenty of time on the second baseman daylight play with Castro there.
Quit picking on Juan on the bases. Leave him alone.
Let Juan run.
Just leave him alone.
Hey, he better be focused on Taylor. Michael A. locking things in. 4 extra base hits his last 4 games. He's driven in 4. Overall, 5 for his last 16. It's a good pitch. Handcuffed him if he tried to swing.
Yeah, the manager's saying he's really working on getting his strike zone dialed in, and once that happens, look out. Running dialogue right now with Angel Hernandez after that pitch. You can hear him talking. Might have bought him that call too. Let's see the first 2. Look at the first one. G-Rag.
Nissan shows us the obvious 1-1 count.
Same as the first pitch. 100% guaranteed.
2-1.
But hey, you have a nice conversation with the home plate umpire, buy a couple calls.
Wow, 9 years ago now, Michael was a senior at Westminster Academy up the road in Fort Lauderdale. Hit .447 that year.
Shortstop.
Matt Dendecker, his teammate. 2-1. Boy, did he get around one last night?
He did. Watch where this pitch is. It's on the outer half, and he just kind of goes out there and hooks it to left. 4th home run of the year. And then Juan Soto takes his helmet off, and I think Michael A. took Juan Soto's helmet off when he homered in his first start.
Here's to many more. 2-2 with 1 out. And the fastball up strikes him out. Second of the day for Chen. And it's up to Severino here in the second.
All right, it's a really good deal. Nats Pass, you get 10 Nats games whenever the heck you want, $65 per month. You see the teams coming in, so good ball clubs coming to the yard. Nats Pass available exclusively through MLB Ballpark app, so download that today and start enjoying unlimited Nats baseball for the month. It's a great idea.
Severino has been intentionally walked.
Oh, we're going to have to show that again.
Sorry you missed it, folks. That was really something. Tanner Roark has 1 RBI this year, 5 in his career. He's 0 for 1 with a walk against Wei-Yin Chen.
If you're coming to your first baseball game and you see an intentional walk now, you're thinking in the stands, this game's easy. Look at this guy. He just put his bat down and went to first, and he can score now.
I could do that.
He didn't do anything. Why is this game so hard? Did you see that, honey? He just went to first. Why doesn't everybody do that?
Saves pitch counts.
Why is this guy standing there now?
One. Tanner Roark takes the fastball on the edge. He'll take that call when he's throwing. And it's 1-2.
Tanner's thinking, how in the heck am I going to hit that?
And the off speed gets him. Nats get a double, an intentional walk, strand their first 2 runners. Roark and Chen matching up early pretty well.
That's presented by Delta Airlines. The first 25,000 fans, you pick up the third of 5 Nats bobbleheads this year. Nats will face the Giants on that. That's a 7:05 start that night. Visit Nationals.com for a Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead.
Looks a lot like that guy in the left because he's got the bat, same stance, everything. 0-1-0, both clubs. Tanner back to work. When you're talking cards, you're talking Coons. We're going to look at some league leaders tough to hit. And Tanner Roark checking in at 201. opponent's batting average. So you can obviously look at his record 2-4 with a 3.5, well, under 3.5 ERA, and figure he could easily be 4-2, at least 500, and have a winning record. Good numbers from Coons, and we go bottom 2 with 5, 6, 7. Brian Anderson, Miguel Rojas, and JT Riddle. Anderson hit by a pitch, a walk, and a double last night.
I was standing behind the cage while he was hitting today, and I was watching his swing. I said, this looks like a young Ryan Zimmerman. And Frank Menachino, who you know is a friend of mine, said that's what we think he's going to be someday. High praise for a young player, but he's got a nice swing.
1-0. Roark with the fastball, misses away. A lofty comparison for any young player.
Yeah.
Marlins have some talent. I've spent a little time with one of their organization guys today, and they think that what you're seeing with some of these guys, and some of them via trade, some of them organization guys, are the tip of the iceberg compared to what's below water right now. They're trying to change the whole culture of everything going on in this organization. First hire Derek Jeter made was Gary Denbo, who was the Yankees director of player development and responsible for the signings of Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Gleyber Torres, and others. There's the boss. That's fair ball. Way behind the bag. Rendon guns it, and it pulls Reynolds off the bag. It does stay in play, and the hitter will stop at first base on Anthony Rendon's first error of the year.
Well, you usually don't see Anthony throw over the top, so that was strange, but he was going toward the line. Watch the arm angle. He never throws over the top. And that ball just either cut on him or he just missed the target, but watch the release point, straight over the top. I mean, that ball had something on it, but we're used to seeing him kind of sling this from his belt buckle, and that one got away. Wasn't close. I think he had the rush, too, when he looked up.
Yeah, that ball barely fair by the bag. Here's Miguel Rojas, the third baseman. Rojas, 4 career home runs in parts of 4 years with the Dodgers and Marlins. And we were told during spring training he was working on the old fly ball angle, and he's hit 7 home runs already. So he's launched a few, driven in 23 runs, hitting .261.
Got to give the Marlins the edge on the unis today. Have to. Black tops are cool.
You know, it's cooler outside than it is in here. 74 degrees outside right now for the start of this game, but just steady rain almost all weekend. Can't think of too many games we've been here over the years since 12 when they opened this joint, where the windows have been open and the roof's been open.
They've been doing it way more this year. They said it gives the whole place a different feel.
So April, maybe September.
Little hit and run check right there. Miguel Rojas had a long look at his third base coach. Now they're looking again, which there's a lot of action going on between hitter and third base coach for a 1-1 count in the second inning. So that's probably why the Nats threw over.
One pitch. Runner was not going. Nats will be here for a 2-game series in September on a Monday and a Tuesday night. So maybe we'll have the roof open then. We'll see. Second of 3 this weekend. Steven Strasburg tomorrow against Eliezer Hernandez. One-two, right to the shortstop Turner. Defoe's got to be quick, and he is. The Nats turn their 37th of the year. Tanner Roark, a perfect pitch to jam the hitter into a grounder.
Tanner's so good at getting the ground ball double play. Perfectly executed by the two who he introduced. We said the defense, it would turn some double plays today. You had a feeling with Tanner on the mound.
And now it's more than a feeling. JT Riddle with 2 down. Can you tell I got Boston on my mind? They're beating the Braves. Check on that one. Atlanta at last reported was sitting in the top of the 9th, down 8-5. Here's JT Riddle, who went on the DL at the end of spring training with right shoulder tendonitis.
It was a missed 3 to everyone.
And by the way, the Red Sox have beaten the Braves 8-6. The Nats are a game and a half out. Riddle just reinstated today after hitting .346 in 21 games at their AAA New Orleans ball club. So he left the baby cakes and now he's a Marlin again.
That's the creepiest mascot.
So because the Phillies have 1 fewer win, 1 fewer loss, they have that little percentage point thing. Virtual tie for first, and the Nats breathing down both teams' necks here.
Yeah, if you're bored right now at home, Google baby cakes. It'll scare you for a second.
And that's the name of the New Orleans team after being the Zephyrs for so long.
I think Mr. Met's creepy.
Curveball hit out to left center. Here comes Soto. Good jump. Got it in the gap, the short gap. And Tanner Roark, thanks to the double play and a good glove play by his rookie in left, faces 3 batters in the second. When the Nats win and score big, like 7 runs or more, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Promo code NATS50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Well, here's Wilmer Difo leading off, top of the 3rd. Wilmer took him a minute, but he had a good night last night. Walked and scored in that big 7th. Had a base hit and scored when the Nats added on with 2 in the 8th. So he's hit .317 his last 22 games. Showed bunt, and that got Miguel Rojas on the move. But it's 0-2. This one in the air, left center. Derek Dietrich. two hands, one out. First time around the order, the Nats go 1 for 8 with the Soto double and a walk to Severino intention.
All right, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in the ball game. Juan Soto's day is shaping up nice so far. A double and a diving play in left. Stay tuned for that. Could be one, or you never know. Maybe it's right here.
All right, second time around for Trey. Last night, 1 for 5 with an RBI infield hit. Reached on an errors last time on that crazy line drive that seemed to sink on Miguel Rojas. Up the middle, second time up. It's amazing the difference in batting average for Trey, first time, second time.
It's about a 200-point difference. It was 174 the last time we checked, and he's done it 2 or 3 times since. So just kind of recapping, first at bat, low 200s, second at bat, high 300s. And he hasn't stolen a base since the Sunday night game in Arizona, so he's been stuck on 13 for a while. Let's see if he decides to go here.
Lefty-lefty matchup, Chen and Harper. And Bryce up there ripping. Beautiful swing for 2 runs last night.
I don't think he was expecting that many fastballs from Conley, and he finally got one away after he pulled a changeup foul down the line, scored a couple, so nice piece of hit. And even though he was kind of bailing out of there, he kept his hands in the fight and got enough barrel on it to shoot it down the left field line for a double.
Yeah, in the old days before they got rid of it as an official stat, Bryce would have had the game-winning RBI last night.
I used to like that stat.
You know, sometimes it came in the 6th inning or the 5th, but sometimes it was in the 9th when the whole thing was on the line. And I remember back then had a line in the scorebook for GW RBI, and then baseball took it away.
It was in the box score every morning when you opened the paper.
Yeah. 1 and 2. Okay, there goes Miguel Rojas.
Bryce is frustrated right now. He thought he should have hit that pitch.
Turner's got a lean, holding. Harper stays alive.
There it is. First at bat 206, second at bat 417. Wow. So that's a huge difference. That just tells me that he gets a good idea of what they're trying to do to him, and he adjusts quickly. Leadoff hitter, you're a sacrificial lamb.
Either that or Bryce needs to whisper in his ear as he leaves the on-deck circle. It's the top of the 3rd.
I led off my whole life and hated my first at bat.
Did you?
Even if I face a guy before, you just don't know what he has on that given day. So you're trying to see pitches so that you go up the second time with a good idea.
1-2 with 1 out, and that's upstairs.
The whole thing about seeing pitches for the rest of the ball club is a bunch of baloney. I'm seeing them for me so that when I go up the second time, I got a better idea just in case the bases are loaded and it's a big at bat in the 3rd inning. Oh, he's a good leadoff hitter. Look how many pitches he saw for the rest of it. No, I'm seeing those for me.
Swing and a miss, and Chen rings up Harper again. 4 strikeouts, Bryce twice. 2 outs, 3rd inning. It's up to Rendon.
All right, kick off Pride Week on Tuesday, June 5th with Night Out at Nationals Park, and that's take on the Rays. Tickets for Night Out include a donation to Team DC when you purchase through our special ticket events page. Visit nationals.com. One of the best nights of the year at the Yard. So many friends tell me about that. Great night. We'll all have fun.
Rendon pops it up right side. It's over the Nats dugout and into the seats.
You guys in the dugout, when you see one like that that's close, say, get a hot dog ball.
We're hearing from people who have looked up baby cakes, and I think we have a disturbed audience this afternoon.
That was the point.
Yeah, they were the Denver Zephyrs, and then the team moved around a bit here and there and ended up in New Orleans. They were the Zephyrs for a long time. On the move is Turner. The throw's behind him.
Ooh, that got him.
And it hit him where? Trey steals his 14th bag and staggered a bit by that one.
Wrist? Elbow? Funny bone? Did you see how late Starlin Castro got there? The fact that he didn't get there on time didn't allow him to adjust to the throw up the line. You know, as a second baseman, if you get to the bag in time, you reach across, maybe even tag Trey Turner on his foot before he gets to the bag. But look how late Castro is getting there. Then he can't reverse his position to get the throw, and it hit Trey on the elbow, it looks like.
So Paul Lassard out there.
You know, there's two ways to do it as a second baseman. You can hold your ground, then go cover, just in case the hitter hits one behind you, or you just vacate and get to the base quick. I always believed you vacate and got to the base quick just in case there was a throw like that. It allowed you to make adjustments on a throw up the line, a throw in the dirt, because you're already at the base. Castro wasn't even near. Verizon Exmo will sponsor the hit on the elbow. Ooh.
I don't think that got ground first, did it?
No, that hurt. 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. Visit getfios.com.
2-1 now to Rendon, who had a big night last night. Anthony singled first 2 times up, doubled off the third base bag prior to the Matt Adams 2-run homer in the 6th. Out on a good play by Rojas from behind the third base bag, first time up. And this one in the air, right side playable, foul ground, Justin Bohr. That's it for the Nats. They've stranded 3. No score in game 2 in Miami.
On defense, I'm interested to see how he gets extended with that lead arm next time he hits. Maybe he'll lay down a bunt. We'll see.
So PNC make today the day. The Nats now right up there with Milwaukee with the best record in the league. So the Nationals are 7 over. The Brewers 8 over on the road. That Milwaukee ball club, they're 12 games over 500. They've opened up a 3-game lead in the Central. Nats will see them up there right after the All-Star break. First pitch, bottom of the 3rd. Yeah, the ball finds Trey. 1 out. Lewis Brinson retired. Took all of 1 pitch.
I don't think that felt great. he's smiling as he fields it like, of course I have to field a ground ball right now. Kind of let his left arm hang after he threw it.
Baseball.
I can see the boys having fun, smiling in the middle of a ground ball. I love it.
Here's Chen, 1 for 8 this year. Good part of his career, of course, in the American League with the Orioles, 2012 through 15. Third year with Miami. Career, he's 2 for 66. Ball 2. Remember that thing Tanner's had a little bit this year? First inning, kind of nibbling, finding his way. Didn't have that problem today. Gave up a scratch hit. Double play ball in the second, so he's had 2 pretty efficient innings to get his day started. Two.
I wouldn't have been surprised if Anthony Rendon wasn't laughing in the middle of that ground ball, and that's why Trey was smiling.
Well, best buddies do that.
We used to, on routine fly balls in the outfield, run over to each other and say, drop it, miss it, and scream at our teammates in the middle of a big league game, just because we were bored.
I am shocked.
Say,
Maybe Chen is too. I think he thought he struck out. He looked back at the dugout like, what do I do now? It's 3-2. Up the middle, slow roller. Tanner goes goaltender to knock it down. Good save.
Well, maybe Tanner's rocking the red for the NHL Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's why he's wearing the Red Sox. And he goes full Hulk beast right there in the comebacker. I like it.
Good athlete. We've always thought Tanner's going to win a Gold Glove someday.
You got to keep the rebound closer, though, because that can lead to a goal.
Here's Dietrich. Ground ball to Rendon first time, and Roark ahead of him. First time through. Marlins go 1 for 9 with the Real Muto infield hit.
Love Tanner's work rate today. He always works quick, but he's telling me he's super confident and super comfortable today working this fast.
Even though it wasn't catchable and Dietrich didn't like it, curveball came around to the outside edge.
He slowed it down just enough.
So they get a second look at him do a little better. Tanner's around for the 3rd time. That's why he's pitched 7 innings a whole bunch this year. Tanner Roark's first start of the year at Atlanta, 8-1 win, went 7. He went 7 at the Mets, against the Pirates at home, and then 2 times in a row at Arizona and against the Dodgers, part of that doubleheader last week. So 5 7-inning outings already. And he had Dietrich reaching for that, and that's a fly ball to Bryce Harper in the gap. Tanner Roark getting it done on the road. Reynolds, Soto, Taylor straight ahead. Nats fans with some middle inning snacks. of Ram at your local dealer. Log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts Glory Ram. So our due up here in the fourth. First of all, Mark Reynolds, his numbers as a net. Juan Soto, base hit first time today, a double. Michael A. Taylor, who's been very good for several days. National League players with 10 hits or more, 4 home runs or more in their first 8 games with a new ball club. Mark Reynolds doing it better than anybody since Trevor Story broke in with Colorado, a Reynolds teammate a couple of years ago. Might remember before that, Mark Trumbo with the D-backs, Yasiel Puig with the Dodgers, and Evan Gattis with the Braves. This one to short. JT Riddle has the answer.
Time for some Geico highlights. Show you Juan Soto's day so far. First at bat, fastball right down the middle. He pulls down the right field line for a double. And then he makes a nice play on JT Riddle coming in, catching it as he's fallen to the ground. So far, so good for Juan here today. See if he can add on right now. Geico, 15 minutes. Can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. And Juan Soto is such a veteran already. He stepped out so I could finish the promo. Thanks.
Yeah, and Angel Hernandez stepped out, and Wei-Yin Chen wasn't real happy about it. We know Juan has power, of course.
He's smiling. He's like, okay, that was a pretty good curveball. Swung right through it and then just started smiling.
I didn't see any of those at AAA on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track or AA. JT Realmuto pouncing. 2 down. Four ground ball outs for Chen. 6 for Tanner Roark of his 9. Counting the double play as 2.
When you talk about game times, Carp, I always thought the 4 o'clock game was the hardest one to get up for. You know, 1 o'clock, you're out of bed. You're used to 1 o'clock or 1:30 games as a player.
There's another tapper. Realmuto pounces. Inning over.
Ball's not carrying in front of the plate right now. That means he's got a good sinker and good off speed going.
Yeah. No launch angle that inning for the Nats. Rainy day outside. We're loving it inside here. And the 4th inning of Nationals baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Bay teams, Tampa Bay, San Francisco Bay, gets a return to the Buffalo June 5th and 6th. Wilson Ramos playing well for the Rays. They just traded Denard Span, though, so we won't get to see him. He's in Seattle now. Giants the weekend of June 8, 9, 10. Visit nationals.com. Pretty good battery on the promo and on the diamond. Tanner Roark, 43 pitches, 29 strikes. Curveball rolls down and away to JT Realmuto, who has the Marlins' only base hit. That's in a right-hander's shift. 2-0.
But kind of finishing my thought, Carp, the 4 o'clock start, you have no routine as a player. You know, 1 o'clock, you get up, you take batting practice in the cage, you play the game, you're used to it. 7 o'clock, you have your routine, but the 4 o'clock game just throws you for a loop. It's kind of in between. It's in no man's land. So as a player, when you're used to rhythm and routine, that's the one that kind of gets you and throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, plus when you're in an outdoor stadium, not the best time of the day to hit if the sun's out, making it all the more tougher. 2-2 on the foul tip. No such worries in here. Perfect lighting, perfect conditions right now. That ball ripped and it's fair. Beyond the dive of Rendon. Soto digs it out of the corner. And JT Realmuto is the extent of the Miami offense. That'll be his 14th extra base hit on his 7th double.
I think I've said this before, but he reminds me of Craig Biggio before he became a second baseman. Remember, Craig was a catcher when he came up, and they put him at second to kind of prolong his career. You're wondering if JT Realmuto someday could be a second baseman. Right now, he's one of the premier catchers in the National League, and is showing you why.
Homegrown Marlin, 3rd rounder back in 2010 out of Carl Albert High School in Midwest City, Oklahoma. That's Matt Kemp's neighborhood. .7 years of age. .280 career batting average his first 4 years in the big leagues.
That can't be a helmet in May. That has to be from last year.
You mean the toxic waste dump that's sitting on top of Justin Bour's helmet here?
It's pine tar.
Speaking of Biggio, that's what his used to look like,
Yeah.
remember?
Pine tar, rosin, and dirt all mixed together. And guys will go up there to get a grip. See that? Touch it, get it on your hands. Now it's, especially when you don't use gloves like Justin.
0-2.
Wanted to.
Upstairs. Tanner got ahead, just totally took him up and out of the zone. First strikeout today. Good time for it.
Well, you saw the pitch before. Bour started his hands and then stopped. And that's telling Tanner and Pedro that, hey, he's going to chase that high fastball. If I can get it just a little bit lower. So this is before the strikeout. Watch, just a little too high, but see his hands start? And thinking, well, he wants to. So I'm going to throw this one just a little bit lower, maybe the same height, however. And he couldn't hold up twice in a row. Nicely set up and nicely recognized by those two. And nicely executed by Tanner.
Starlin Castro. That ball up the middle first time, on which Trey Turner pulled out the big gun throw over to first, ending the first inning.
If Bour's hands don't move on the pitch before, they don't go up there again. But the fact that he had to check his swing allowed him to try it one more time.
One to Castro.
Castro's right on the plate, isn't he? Look at that.
Yeah, hands right over the inner edge. He turns on that one. It's hooking. Wow, just foul. That was close.
Well, he got some serious plate coverage where he's standing, but he came around that one. I don't even think he hit it well. Short hops the fence. Had a weird sound to it. Yeah, maybe he did. I guess it went 340.
By the way, with this stance, he has not been hit by a pitch. One and two.
I think they're trying to go slider down away. Not getting that break he wants. They're going to go talk about it too. This is a good trip by Pedro. Maybe he saw something at second base he didn't like. Maybe they're disagreeing on what pitch to throw, but he's a big part of the ball game, obviously, and he wants to be on the same page.
Wei and Chen pitching well for the Marlins. No score, fourth inning. First time Miami's had a runner at second base today. Now it's 3-2. Man does not walk a whole lot.
Yeah, I might be telling you he's swinging here. You don't necessarily have to throw a strike with first base open.
Walked him, 2 on, 1 out for Brian Anderson. First pass of the day by Tanner.
It seemed like after that foul ball, Tanner was just going, okay, either you're hitting my pitch or we're going to go for a double play. Before today, Tanner Roark had to do 6 double plays in 33 opportunities. That's 8th best in baseball. He already has one today, so that number moved up.
Anderson hit the ball down the third base line, on which Rendon made the errant throw first time. Severino knew the ball was foul, but he reached out and swipe tagged the hitter anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. And with Defoe taking a step toward the bag, Tanner stepped off.
The Nats haven't attempted a pickoff to second base all year. That would have been the first.
One more here. Day game for Memorial Day. Camden Yards on Monday. Night games against the O's Tuesday, Wednesday. Masson 2 across the board. And Thursday night, we will begin a 4-game series in Atlanta. And I understand ticket sales are very brisk for the Washington series down there next weekend. Roark with the off-speed pitch, and he had Anderson well out ahead.
What are you going on StubHub?
No, I'm talking to friends who live down there. They say the city is on fire about their baseball team.
Atlanta on fire? Weird.
Fire kind of put out the last 2 days by the Red Sox up at Fenway. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Counts even.
Tanner's so good at pitching the bottom half or below the zone in these situations to get the ground ball.
Pretty good takes here by a couple of Marlins, and now it's 3-2 with 1 out. Yeah, other than pitch number 5, everything ground ball territory. Runners on the move, and that's a base hit that'll put them on top. Found a hole on the right side, and Anderson drives in his 23rd run. Castro ends up at 3rd.
But I like that Don Mattingly started his runners. It's a nice piece of hitting by Brian Anderson inside out. It looked like Wilmer Defoe was hanging around the bag to keep Real Muto close, and it opened up a big hole. If he wasn't, that might have been a 4-6-3 double play.
Miguel Rojas is next. He hit into the 6-4-3 first time.
We saw Don Mattingly hit and run twice against Max Scherzer last night. It wasn't the 3-2 hit and run. It was 2-1, 1-1. He's not afraid to get his guys running. That was a good call by the Marlins skipper. A little action. Get people moving around.
Is it another 6-4-3? They'll have to be quick. Yes! Great relay by Defoe with Anderson bearing down on him. Marlins are going to have a look, obviously.
We got a lot of things going on here. The slide at second, there was contact. Safe route at first is in question. And it's your typical major league double play nowadays. You never just run off the field because you never know. This is for a run, so this is huge. Tanner's not moving, which tells me a lot. He wants a ball too.
Miami will challenge.
Tanner knows. I think he was safe. We'll see. Show you some Verizon Exmo on the play at the base. So it just has to touch any part of Mark Reynolds' glove and be secure in the back. That first angle is what they're going to use in Chelsea for sure. Did it touch Mark's glove anywhere before Rojas's foot hit the bag? Let's watch. Tough to tell if that's hitting leather right there, but is that enough to overturn it? It's not the back of the glove, it's just the first part of leather the baseball hits. Super close.
Larry Vanover, the crew chief, in from second. Ramon De Jesus, first base umpire, made the call.
I think he's safe, but we'll see. Now they're checking. If you read his lips, Vanover just said now the force play at second, so they're checking the slide too. So they already got the answer they wanted at first, I believe, and now they're checking the slide at second. Here we go. Kind of popped up over the bag, but he was sliding into the bag, so he didn't deviate his direction at all.
Runner is out at first. It's a double play. The ball evidently enough into the mitt, and Larry Vanover's going to walk right over and explain it to Don Mattingly. And that's it. The Marlins get one.
Before we went to break, the rule states that the ball has to touch leather, and that's where they determine the first time the baseball touches any part of leather, and it is fully secure in the back portion of the glove on completion of the move. So does it touch leather there? No. There is where it touches leather for the first time, and maybe there's just not enough to overturn it.
I think that's the key to the whole thing. The Nats got the initial call by a slim margin. It stood 1-0 instead of 2-0, and the inning's still alive. Severino, Roark, and Defoe now top 5.
And the umpiring crew in Chelsea, New York usually sends us an email explaining why they made their decision, so we'll let you know when we get that. That's a big call in the tie ball game in the 4th inning.
Upstairs to Severino, 1-2. Didn't take them long. They handled it very well, I thought. Not just because of the result, but they got it done quickly. 2-2. Tanner Roark now 8 ground ball outs with 2 double plays. Severino with a soft liner on a hop, thrown out by Castro. Next up, Tanner Roark.
Well, that wasn't an easy one, Carp. I was going back and forth on it too.
One.
I would love to know the percentage of double plays that are reviewed in Major League Baseball now. I guarantee you it's upward of 75%.
It's that ground ball out, number 7 for Chen. Rojas takes care of that. Well, Potomac Nationals, now that the Turner Bobblehead Day is happening, it's the Dr. Seuss Reading Program Day, as well as Autism Awareness Day, a very important day tomorrow at the Fitz. Peanuts will wear custom autism awareness jerseys. Those will be auctioned off to benefit Autism Speaks. Post-game, kids run the bases and players available for autographs. So a great family day tomorrow down at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge.
We have a lot of fun with their promos, but that's about the coolest thing I've ever heard them do there. That's great.
Well done. Ball hacked to right by Defoe and right at Brian Anderson. Chen very efficient, working with a 1-run lead. And our buddy Edwin Jackson, son of a United States Army veteran. Edwin's still trying to get noticed by somebody at the big league level, working away there at Syracuse with the Nats, parts of 12, parts of 17. World Series champion in 11 the year before he was first in that. So a lot of uniforms Edwin's worn, but maybe the most important one, the one his dad wore, the Army uniform. Hats off to the Jackson family, and thank you and bless you for your service. Riddle, Brinson, Chen, bottom of the 5th. Tanner 67-43, the pitch strike count through 4. Didn't get much of a breather there, did he? Had to bat in quick inning.
Well, he's got to be thinking with Turner, Harper, and Rendon due up in the 6th that if he can get through this one 1-0, that he got a good chance. Maybe they'll figure out way in Chin third time through.
Severely jammed and Riddle fouls it. Daniel Martinez let Max go a little further last night. Max was able to get out of that 6th inning, got the 3 runs, got the W, and the Nats off to a good start on the weekend. A lot to be said for pitchers sticking around as long as they can. Good things happen. 2-2, as long as they can get outs.
Doing a real nice job of keeping the ball down all day, mixing it up. So
2 double play balls among the 8 ground ball outs. Only 1 strikeout. Justin Bour, that high heater last inning. 2-2, and now another strikeout on a taken 93 inside edge. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
I don't think there was a lot of run back to it. He just went in with the 4-seam fastball, maybe a little at the end, just a hair. Nice pitch. Yeah, you look at it in slow motion, there was a little more run than I saw initially. Nice pitch.
Brinson ground ball to short first time.
That's a big long swing that if he runs into one is going to do some damage, but it's not conducive to average. I mean, he's just swinging for the downs every single time.
Yeah, you're right. And we saw that last night. He's hit 6 homers, but hitting the $150. Swing and a miss, taking advantage of his aggressiveness, and suddenly Roark has 2 Ks in a row.
All right, Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $44 donation to the Children's NIH for every strikeout by a Nationals pitcher this season.
Chen. Bouncer back to Tanner first time. He went body save and threw him out. 0-2.
In a rhythm, isn't he? Has been all game, but you feel like that double play going his way really pumped him up.
Yeah, got the ground ball, got rewarded. Then he strikes out the side. So it's Turner, then it's Harper, Rendon, and maybe Reynolds and beyond.
Hit in 7 straight ball games, and he's seen his power come around over the last few weeks as well. Trey's saying recently that offensively for him, the most important thing is feeling like he's on time. And I asked him how he tries to find that timing. He said for him, it's all about his leg kick, repeating his leg kick and getting that timing mechanism locked in with the pitcher's delivery. So what he'll try and do is get that leg kick going in the on-deck circle. So if a pitcher has a slow delivery or a fast delivery, he can adjust the timing of his leg kick to kind of match that. He says you want to get your foot down at the same time every time, and when he's doing that, he feels like he's in a really good position to hit and square something up, guys.
Probably why his second at-bat's a little bit better than his first, because he has a better idea when to time that kick.
Well, the Nats went 1 for 9 second time through the order, 1 for 8 first time with a walk. So here we go, third time around. Trey base hit up the middle, stolen base. Never made it beyond second in that third inning. And this one on a play right side. So you only have 2 hits. The Soto double, 1 out second inning. The Turner single, 1 out third inning. The intentional walk to Severino after the Soto double in the second. And this one back out of play.
All right, change seats. This is not a drill. We're not working on it. We're doing it right now. Change seats.
And this one playable, it appears. Bohr, ball's going to come twisting back to give him more room. 1 out, 6th inning. And weigh in Chen up to his old tricks here at home.
All right, download MLB at bat today. Get the Nationals home screen icons and features, the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. MLB at bat is your #1 Nationals app. I read that backwards. Hopefully it works. He's trying to change something.
Harper, a pair of strikeouts today swinging. So Bryce trying to attack early.
That's one of his better swings in a long time. He's frustrated, but that was a free and easy swing with pretty good balance. He is so frustrated right now, you can just tell. This is a good swing. He's standing up. He's staying in the fight. Didn't really fall over right there. That wasn't a bad swing at all.
2-hit night last evening after going 0 for 3.
Might be fighting himself a little bit right now.
Strike call. He knew it. Walked away. Nissan pitch cast. Anthony Rendon, ground ball to third, pop up foul to first. And right now, trying to break a string of 10 consecutive batters retired.
Anthony didn't love that second strike.
Target in on 0-2. Maybe trying to duplicate the pitch before. Want to go in farther this time, and it's elevated.
The Nats are 10th in the National League against lefties average-wise. They were 12th a couple of weeks ago, so they're climbing. But today they're having trouble against Wei-Yin Chen, who's just moved the fastball around basically.
Rendon out to the gap in left center, not deep, falling, and so is the sliding Dietrich, who puts it away. 11 in a row for Chen. He's the story of this 1-0 game. Tanner Roark getting a whole bunch of ground ball outs, couple of double plays, still waiting for some offense, but he's got his team in the game on a day when the other guy's pretty good.
Yeah, just stay in the game right now and hope that you can get to the Marlins bullpen somehow, because right now you haven't figured out Wei and Chin going through the third time through the order. Right. So don't get frustrated if you're Tanner. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep it a 1-0 game and hope your team can snatch one late. Just hang around. Keep it a 1-0 game. Get somebody on, pop one out of here, and walk away with a win. A lot of baseball left.
Derek Dietrich, top of the order. Roark, the curveball, couldn't quite drop it in, 2-0. Dietrich, a grounder to third and a fly ball to right. Tanner had him really lunging to reach the ball, getting ahead. Last time up. Gets the call at the knees or nearby. Bottom 6, Dietrich, Real Muto, Bohr. So the Marlins box, Real Muto 2 for 2. Infield hit first. Led off the fourth with a double. Came around to score on the Brian Anderson base hit after the Castro walk. That's really it for them. Now it's 3-2. Dietrich was, before he hit that home run last night, really struggling against the Nats. He was 1 for 24 when he launched that one in the 6th. Now he's aboard in the 6th today via the walk. Tanner's second. Real Muto, 2 for 2. Mentioned this last night. Catchers don't play every day anymore, and he does not have enough at bats to qualify for the batting race. Right now, he'd be 5th behind Freddie Freeman at 323. To right, and Bryce will actually come in for this one to his left. First out, 6th inning. So Roark and Justin Bohr will get it on again. Mentioned they've had some interesting matchups over the years. And when Tanner struck him out 2 innings ago, that was the 7th time he has struck him out in 28 at bats. Bohr a fly ball to center before that strikeout. Big curve, but it stayed away.
Hey, you might wonder how the Marlins get up for 81 home games in a ballpark where they're having trouble drawing fans. It's still the big leagues, and you're still trying to establish yourself at this level. So that's your motivation if you're a Miami Marlin. You know, pretty decent crowd here today compared to last night, but you know, you're trying to show the rest of the league that you have value to them, maybe, or even your own organization. So that's your motivation on a daily basis. Not how many people are in the stands, and you're not getting fired up about that. You're getting fired up for the 24 other guys in your clubhouse and trying to win a game and putting up your numbers so you can show the rest of the league that either you can help them or help the ball club you're with.
2-2 with 1 out. You guys went through some of that in Montreal, didn't you?
Did. I mean, it was always more fun to go on the road and play in, you know, St. Louis or Dodger Stadium with a packed house, and you know, you get amped up for those games. But in Montreal, we'd almost use it as a home field advantage because we'd see a lot of teams that were used to playing in front of a lot of fans come in flat, and we beat them with way less talent.
Runner on the move, strike, throw high. Turner comes back down to earth, but Dietrich's already back to the bag for his stolen base, and for Derek Dietrich, his first of the year. Marlins, as I mentioned last night, now only 11 steals, fewest in baseball.
Good throw has Derek Dietrich right here. Pedro just kind of left it up a little high. Not used to seeing that from Pedro. Maybe Justin Bour had a little interference. No, he just threw it high. Trey Turner tried to stay with it in case Dietrich came off the bag, but he didn't.
So, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Similar situation. Starlin Castro walked by Roark last time up. We'll see how the count takes us here. Tanner fell behind. Wanted Castro to hit his pitch and never really grooved one.
Pretty good pitch right there.
To short. Turner was playing him way to pull. Just flips it over, seeming effortlessly to Mark Reynolds, said the announcer, effortlessly. And here's Reynolds coming up next. Deserved drink for Tanner Roark. They're working hard today. Looking for the offense to come out of the camo here in the 7th. And that's up and in to Mark Reynolds.
Rally music. I'm ready. Let's go. Woohoo.
That's cool. We had to wait for the stinger to end the tune. Ground ball to third. Ground ball to short. Did he hold? He did, says Ramon de Jesus.
Somebody didn't change seats last inning. You know who you are. Fastball away, fastball in. He's got his St. Patrick's Day Nats hat on. I like it.
Bet he saw a game in West Palm, didn't he? 2-1. And the count's even.
He's added and subtracted from his fastball. It's been between 89 and 93. He's moved it in, he's moved it out, up and down. So it's like 4 different pitches for him today. He'll get you leaning out there away, then bust you in. He'll bust you in and then paint away. it's been more east and west with the fastball than north and south, but the speed variances have been, I think, the biggest difference. That 89 is almost like a BP fastball.
2-2 to Reynolds. Reaching, couldn't get it, turned it over on him. Strikeout number 6. Put some sizzle in your summer with the Nationals Summer Sizzler 3-pack. Get 3 Summer Nats game and a free Nats branded grill starting at just $39 per pack. Visit nationals.com for all the details. And you can sizzle at home. Look at that.
I want that. I want a barbecue on that and then take a bat to it and crush it into left center field. After the coals, of course, have simmered down.
Look out, Old Town. Chopper over the mound. Brinson was playing, pardon me, Riddle was playing up the middle. Brinson always does. He's a center fielder. But JT crossing over to get that one, and the Nats have now gone out 13 in a row. Well,
Yeah.
you talked about the road games, FP, hitters' ballparks.
Hitters ballparks, but he obviously likes this one, and he's kind of holding true to that and those numbers here today against the Nats. I think you talk to pitchers, they pitch in a big ballpark, they feel more confident. They know they don't have to be perfect. They make a mistake, somebody will run it down in the spacious outfield here, so you're more free and easy. Not worried about making one mistake.
Good work rate for both pitchers today. 1-1 to Taylor, who has struck out swinging and bounced out right in front of the plate. Guy who doesn't throw that hard. He's been throwing inside effectively. Missed upstairs with that 2-1. He's got a good pitch count going today. Been averaging about 12 pitches per inning. If you're curious, Chen has never pitched a complete game in the major leagues.
Totally curious.
Now you know.
Thanks.
That's a pitch count conducive to going way deep. Three and two.
That's a tough one to swing at. I don't even know if that was a strike.
Very little stress in those 83 pitches today. 3-2 to Taylor in a 1-run game. He will run out of there and head for first. Chen, second walk today. The other was intentional.
So I have the supervisor explanation here on the replay review. It says, after reviewing all relevant angles, the replay official could not definitively determine that the batter runner's foot touched first base prior to the ball contacting the interior of the fielder's glove. The call stands. The batter runner is out.
Email confirmation.
Oh wait, someone just said that to me on Twitter. No. That's from the league office.
Totally believable.
That's from the league office. Well, you think Michael A is going to take a chance here, right? Somewhere soon.
Lefty looking right at him. And a ball popped up to right for Anderson. Wei-Yin Chen gets this game to the 7th inning stretch. 1-0 Miami. by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. I was told to be quick because the batter's in the box.
That's nice.
And Tanner's ready. Moving things along here. Bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss. Brian Anderson.
Anderson's single last time up in the 4th to right field is the first opposite field hit by a right-hander off Tanner Roark all year.
Wow.
How about that?
That's crazy, man. 1-1. Newest Nat. Right-hander Justin Miller. Tanner Roark is due to lead off the 8th, so despite pitching really well, this will be it. Kyle Bearclaw. Fastball away, hit that way.
You see him stop his swing? Make contact and stop.
Ball game started at 4:10. Here we are, bottom 7 into the 6 o'clock hour. 1-0 Miami on a quick moving afternoon with only 5 hits in the game and make it 6. 2 of them by Brian Anderson. So the Marlins have out-hit the Nationals 4-2.
It's been a pitcher's duel for sure. Not a lot to talk about on the offensive side for the Nats or even the Marlins for that matter.
Thus, important to keep it a 1-run game. Rojas, 2 double play balls. Second one controversial, a close call. Nats call held up after Don Mattingly challenged the one to end the 4th inning. He's going to lay down a bunt and a good one. Roark, all the momentum toward Reynolds. 1-3 on the perfect sacrifice. It'll bring in JT Riddle.
Dave Martinez has got his lineup card out. He's putting his back pocket now. He's on the top step. I think he's going with his right-hander here. Just talked to Derek Lilliquist. They had a conversation. Might be his last hitter. We'll see.
Free swinging righty on deck.
Lilliquist going to the phone to make sure that Miller is loose. Reporting back to the skipper.
Riddle has lined out to left center, robbed of a hit on that good play by Soto back in the 2nd, and then called out on strikes in the 5th. Tanner trying to go 7 innings for the 6th time in 10 starts.
Yeah, the last 3 starts, Tanner's received the 1 run of support, and then today.
Only 7 pitchers in the league lower run support than what Tanner's getting. Up the middle to his left turner, runner to 3rd, 2 outs.
How many ground ball outs is that? Seems like Tanner's doing a nice job today getting the ground balls.
I have him for 11, counting 2 in this inning. Sacrifice is on the ground. Tim Collins, the lefty, joining the right-handed Justin Miller.
See how I deferred to you on that? Because I know if I read my scorecard, I'll mess it up. So I just asked you.
Well, it's play-by-play guy's job to keep track of such things.
Oh, you always nail that.
The
stuff.
minutiae of the game. Minutia, however you say it.
They say minutiae in France.
And in Montreal.
Well, this is a big out right here. 2-0 looks like a real big score here today, the way things are shaping up. I'll keep it 1-0.
Louis Brinson wants it to be 3-0. 1-1. He was considered Milwaukee's #1 prospect going into last year. Came over here in the Christian Yelich deal. You can kind of tell by the numbers he's not shortening up to put it in play a whole lot. Did he go? No, says Ramon De Jesus.
Kind of see him talking to himself. Let's go, swing at strikes. Yeah, I don't think you need to throw him a strike anytime soon.
That one right out the sunroof of the Mercedes-Benz. 2-2.
Until you show the league you're going to swing at them, they won't throw you them. Strikes, that is.
That's what Mike Rizzo talked about with Juan Soto. It's how he got called up.
Yeah.
Knowledge of the strike zone. He did lay off that one, 3-2. Pitcher spot next. Chen is on deck.
Yeah, just keep throwing them out of the zone. You don't need this throw Brinson. If you walk him, you walk him. So what? I mean, maybe they pinch it for Chen. If they do, that's great. Get him out of the game.
This one lifted to right for Bryce Harper, and what a good day for Tanner Roark. 4 runners stranded, 11 ground ball outs. Make it 12 now for Tanner. What a day. Well done. By your local Volkswagen dealer. Visit VWDealer.com for the Volkswagen dealer near you. Not a whole lot of fun the beach this weekend, but plenty of baseball indoors. So Tanner Roark, 111 pitches in 7 innings. He goes 7 for the 6th time this year. Their hitting guy today, 2 for 3, JT Realmuto, the catcher, and Wei-Yin Chen, who is still chunking out there for the 8th inning. 86 pitches, 62 strikes. I first heard that from Jim Cott. He said he was at a ball game as a youngster and somebody said, "Who's chunking today?" And he said, "What are you talking about?"
We always used to say that in the clubhouse. Who's chunking? Who they got chunking? Who's chunking for us?
Right now he's chinking and doing really well. Wei-In Chen against Adrian Sanchez, who faces him for the first time, and that is right in there. So the Nats, 14 of the last 15 retired. Sanchez, Defoe, Turner. Some guys with speed wanting to put the ball in play here. 1-1.
This is big. You get on, you think Wilmer would bunt him over, so this at bat becomes huge when you're running out of time.
Out to the gap in right center. Over in plenty of time, Lewis Brinson. Now it's Defoe ahead of Turner. Wilmer today, just 2 at bats. That's how good Chen's been. 1 out, 8th inning. Number 9 batter. 3rd AB. Fly ball to left. Line drive to right. Just need 1 runner aboard. Showed bunt. Let's see. Chen today's only pitched off the stretch for 4 hitters all day.
This is his game. There's no bullpen in sight. He's only at 90 pitches right now at 7 1/3. Unless something drastic happens here, he's going for a complete game shutout.
Something he's never done. 2-0. You know, that analytic number we showed 3rd time around, that was a very limited sample. It was 8 for 11. And Wilmer kind of overmatched on that 2-0 pitch.
That's in between. I mean, you never see a major leaguer take a 2-0 hack like that. Either he lost the ball in the way or he just changed his mind. Watch this. That's a 2-strike hack, not a 2-0 hack.
That was a pretty good 2-1 hack.
Yeah.
Defoe launches one to left. It's got a chance. See you later. Wilmer Defoe into the corner, and this game is tied.
How about that? 2-0 half swing into a 2-strike home run. And we're all tied. If that doesn't fire you up, nothing will. And that's going to do it for Chen.
And guess what? Tanner Roark still a chance to get a W if the Nats can score again. So Wilmer Defoe, his 3rd of the year, his 9th big league homer.
I'm telling you, that 2-0 half swing fired him up, woke him up. He said, what am I doing? He let it go 2-1, full swing, and then 2-2 same way, and he tied the game. So that 2-0 hack, as weird as it was, might have got him a home run.
Choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. Right now it's Defoe.com.
2-0 swing. He's showing them and demonstrating what happened. No idea, but it fired him up, woke him up. The 2-1 swing was healthy. The 2-strike swing on the slider down and in was a nice swing. And just like that, this game is tied. So maybe you take a swing like that 2-0, you step out and shake yourself, and then you go deep. Nicely done by Wilmer. He fires us up every day.
Chen gets a no decision. There's Turner to the left side. Scrambling stop by Rojas. Good play, 2 outs. And the Nats would have to score here. And Bryce Harper has 2 career home runs against Kyle Bearclaw for Roark to get a win.
So he was telling everybody what happened. See, he threw me a fastball 2-0, and I was thinking about going to right. And now you could laugh at it because you went deep.
Bryce Harper, 2 for 3 career against Bearclaw, both home runs. He's happy to see anybody but the lefty Chen right here. Strike call.
24th appearance, nice ERA. A lot of walks in 22 2/3. Opponents having trouble getting hits.
One. Albert Defoe, 3rd of the year. Chen gave up his 7th. And Bryce ahead in the count.
Well, Bryce has had a tough day. He can turn it around with 1 swing. And that's all it is 1 day either way. But he kind of looks like he's in between off speed and fastball to me today. Maybe overthinking it. We've all been there, done that.
Pretty good hack of the fastball tailing.
The DC Lexus dealers, they donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus, experience amazing. He just did it.
2-2 to Harper. Tie game.
I love it. All the people that switch seats are taking credit on Twitter, and you deserve it. Give yourself a high five. Gave Wilmer some good mojo right there with 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch. Rendon next. Bryce will take the walk. His 44th of the year.
Good at bat. It's not easy to do when you're having a tough day.
Anthony Rendon with a couple of walks. 1 for 6 career against Kyle Bearclaw. Big time rip.
Or if Bryce thinks about stealing here sometime in the sequence, why not? Manley thinking the same thing.
Bryce 4 for 5 when he has run this year.
Bearclaw too quick. That was a slide step right there. No chance of stealing on that.
Well, pitchers try to get ahead on 1-on-1, and Anthony's made him pay. He'll take that fastball that misses.
Driver's seat, get a good one, let it rip. Big pitch right here for the Marlins. They don't want Bryce to have a head start in a 3-2 count.
Outfield straight away. 2-2. And this one out of play right side.
I was waiting for Anthony to call timeout there. Bearclaw had a big time hold going on, and you were wondering if he was going to stick it out, and he did.
Mark Reynolds has one career at bat against Kyle Bearclaw. If he faces him. Ooh, that breaking ball was kind of sitting up there, and Anthony just early for it.
Kind of a roller, huh? Sitting fastball, caught it out front just a hair.
Three and two, and that gives Bryce Harper the head start.
Crank him up. I mean, we have people getting back to their hotel room in London, and Defoe went deep. Somebody's wife started drinking wine instead of water, and then someone's kid woke up from a nap and Wilmer went deep. So all kinds of stuff going on. This is intense.
Hot shot. Ball would have been foul, and it's caught by Rojas, who was guarding the line. That thing was hooking like crazy. Well, they say baseball is life, so people going through all sorts of things when Wilmer took that swing. Bottom line, we're in the middle of the eighth, and Wilmer has tied it up. Pittsburgh so far. Need expert printing? The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing they can't solve. So Tim Collins, second appearance of the series, a situational appearance last night in the 7th inning. And he struck out the only man he faced. That was Justin Bohr. He gets Cameron Maybin, the right-handed pinch hitter here. And this was the big test Tim had to pass before the Nats would call him up. That's back-to-back days. And this would be 3 of the last 4 games for him. There's a base hit on a breaking ball on a 1-1 pitch. So that was Maybin hitting for Bearclaw in a pitcher spot.
It looked like a curveball from Tim, just kind of stayed up there a hair too long. Maybin catches it out front. Leadoff man aboard for the Fish. They're going to bunt Derek Dietrich here. We'll see.
Rendon on the grass at third.
I don't remember Dietrich being a great bunter, and that'll give you an example of what I remembered.
No sacrifice bunts this year.
Seems like he fights it every time he squares around. Doesn't have to be a good one. Maybin can run as you look at Miller getting loose still. Maybe to face Real Muto, maybe not. We'll see how it plays out. You can always walk JT if the sacrifice works.
Squares, the throw over revealed that.
Dietrich with a long look at a sign. He's in the back of the box.
Yeah, that usually indicates no bunt. And
Yeah.
he was taking all the way there, 1-1. That ball's well hit to center. Taylor back. Michael A. cruising to it. Catches it right over the top of his shoulder. 1 out on a well hit ball.
Well, you're already playing deep right here because you don't want anything hit over your head. So look where Michael A's starting. So he got a good jump, was anticipating the baseball, and I'm thinking early in the game if he's playing normal that's over his head, but in no double situation here in the bottom of the 8th he cruises and makes an easy catch. Makes it look easy at least.
So here's Real Muto with a runner at first, 1 out. They've been a pretty good lead. Long look.
I mean, you got a guy that can handle the bat. You got a good runner at first. Tom Manning likes to hit and run. I think, though, with his best hitter up there, he'd probably play it straight. Never know, though. He can run, so a double play would have to be hit firmly right at somebody.
They've been 165 career steals. Was first with the Marlins back in 08 after starting his career with the Tigers. Traded over here with a couple of guys in the Dontrelle Willis Miguel Cabrera trade. Not as fast as he used to be, but I think he had just injured his knee when the Nats saw him in Anaheim last year. with the Angels. 0-1 and a base hit. Real Muto is 3 for 4. Maven's going to make the turn and keep on going. Soto hesitates, throws it in, and Real Muto's at second base. Second, third, one out.
Yeah, you're wondering if Dave Martinez is bringing the righty to face Real Muto, but then you got a lefty coming up, so he's hoping he'd get past the Marlins' number 2 hitter and then have a left-on-left matchup with Collins against Bohr, but the Marlins' best hitter just made him pay. And now you got to work real hard to get out of this and keep it a 1-1 tie.
As mentioned, these two faced each other last night, and Tim struck out Bohr swinging for the first out in the 7th inning.
That ball was hit just soft enough so that Maven could go first to third.
Yeah.
I think if it was hit harder, Maven would have to put on the brakes at second.
Justin Bohr, 23 RBIs on the year. Tanner Roark got him to fly out to center first time, then struck him out swinging twice. 2 of his 5 strikeouts.
Oh, cut to that 93. Infield in. Good speed at third. If the Marlins go contact, it's got to be a clean exchange.
Strike 2 call. Inside edge. Bottom part of the zone.
Justin Bohr's head snapped back. He didn't think that was a strike. He's thinking, okay, 1-1. And right there he goes, wait, what?
Breaking ball, grounded to Reynolds. Throw home, on target, runner out. Mark Reynolds, quick release. Just what you said, and that was the difference.
Well, you got contact play on. Maven can run, and it was a clean exchange from Mark Reynolds and a good throw on the money. Are the Marlins going to check this? Tom Manley's got his hand out, but watch Mark Reynolds look super smooth on this. Give Justin Bohr credit for putting a tough pitch in play. And did Severino tag Maven before he reached the plate? Great play by Reynolds. And how athletic is Pedro Severino back there? That was nice.
Angel Hernandez right on the spot for that call. Davey Martinez now with right-handers coming up. Justin Miller's been warm a couple of times today. So Collins gets a tough out. Reynolds played it very well. Choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com.
Check this out. The game moves so fast here. Cameron Mabin's at third. Anthony Rendon's holding him close. You remember the other day when Jock Peterson kind of rolled through it? We were watching it saying that's how you do the contact play. Mabin's going to walk into his lead, but then he's going to hop. And when he hops, that's the difference between safe and out. See that little hop right there? That little hesitation at the highest level is the difference between safe and out. Bang, bang. We showed Peterson the other day. He just kind of rolled right through it, and he was safe on a contact play at home when the Dodgers were in town. That little hesitation and the great play by Mark Reynolds, the great tag by Pedro Severino is the difference in a 1-1 tie or 2-1 Marlins lead.
Justin Miller, 40 games with the Rockies 2 years ago. And nearly untouchable for Syracuse this season.
Pretty big situation to make your Nats debut. Here you go. Debut. You know what I mean.
Runners at first and third, 2 outs. I think Starlin Castro might have asked for time out there and didn't get it.
He did earlier in the game, and he kept his hand on the bat, which is what you're supposed to do.
Oh-2. Got him! Outside edge. Called third strike. Welcome back to the big leagues, Justin Miller. Quite an inning for the Nats bullpen. Some help from Reynolds. He is scheduled to lead off against Ziegler.
Hey, Wei Chin was spectacular for the Marlins, and Wilmer Defoe, the littlest guy on the field with the biggest swing today to tie it at 1 in the top of the 8th, and we're going to make that our 4th drive of the game and go back to the 8th. 2 strikes, and Wilmer just kind of smooths one out of here and hits the fair pole. 28-degree launch angle, 367 it would have been if it didn't hit the pole. 95.3, it just on the net. So who are your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs? What a difference a few pitches could make for Wilmer. He tied it up.
A flair for the dramatic, that young man. And the never-ending smile. Nats come up top of the 9th. Reynolds will stay and face their side-winding closer, Brad Ziegler. This guy's never made a start in his big league career. 680 appearances counting today.
A fastball only averaging 83.6 miles an hour, but you see the deception in the delivery, the sidearm underhand almost delivery, slider and a change to complement the sidearm fastball.
Reynolds 1 for 8 career against him. 3-1.
You're just zoning up if you're Mark Reynolds right now. What's that mean? You're looking for something above your belt. If it starts low, it's going to go lower.
Reynolds with a high drive to deep left. Dietrich back. See you later. The long distance Nats, the leading home run team in the league, on top 2-1.
Fifth home run of the year already for Mark Reynolds. How good is Mark Reynolds? I mean, he saved the game on defense with a beautiful play at first base, and he might have just won the game with one swing. It was the pitch we're talking about.
Soto, fair ball, left field corner. Juan off to the races with his second extra base hit.
I'm telling you, man, we were talking about just hanging around against Chen. It's his day today. You battle, you fight through it, you keep it a 1-0 game. You make a great play at first base to gun down Cameron Maven. You see where the location was? Belt high. He was hunting that pitch the whole at bat. He finally got it 3-1. He knew what to do with it.
He knew he got it.
And everybody dancing out in left field after the Nats take the 2-1 lead.
Now it's important to add on here. Sean Doolittle just got up, and this is worthy to note. Sean had a 5-out save last night, but it only took him 13 pitches. 6 in the 8th, 7 in the 9th. So he's good to go. Taylor trying to move this runner. Instead, the Marlins try to catch Soto unaware at second base.
That's such a pro at bat by Mark Reynolds. He was hunting that belt high pitch the whole time. Didn't bite on anything down. That's what Ziegler does. He gets you to hit ground balls. Had to come to him 3-1 and he deposited it. Wow.
Taylor, late swing. Yeah, so Reynolds now 27 at bats, 5 homers, 7 batted in 9 games. I'll say he was ready to get back to the big leagues.
Play at first was pretty impressive too, with a plus runner at third and a firm hit ball to him.
A good throw, and he was totally under control that whole play. Michael A kind of taking a stab at it there, and it's 0-2.
I think you saw Michael Bunn, because it's hard to hit that sidearm sinker the other way and move the runner. Slider going away from you, you have a chance to punch it to right, hit a ground ball to second.
Oh, 2. Taylor, a great take. And then that thing looked like a strike for a while. Michael A. career for 1 against Ziegler, 38 years of age. Two-two. Hanging tough here, extending the AB.
I mean, ideally, you'd like to still get one to the right side, but I think right now, even though you're up by one, you take care of yourself. Just put it in play, see what happens. Maybe you get something up and drive them in.
Went with the fastball. It's 3-2, and Ziegler an extended look in at Angel Hernandez.
Starlin Castro saying that was the same pitch I just struck out on.
(3-2), nobody out. Great at bat by Michael A. Taylor. Some of the best takes we've seen lately from him. He walks for the second time today. Next up, Severino. Pedro faces Ziegler for the first time. There's Matt Adams, pitcher spot next. Soto at second, Taylor at first. Great speed out there. Boer very shallow, first base. And Severino fouls the bunt attempt, 1-1.
If you're sacrifice bunting for younger players, get the bunt down, then run. There's no hurry to get to first. It's not about you being safe. It's about you advancing the runner. So stay in there, place the bunt, watch it be down on the ground, and then take off. Saying that, it's not easy to bunt a guy throwing sidearm behind you.
Man, that one kind of ran in on him. See if Davey Martinez turns him looser on a 2-strike count.
That would have worked as a bunt if it was fair.
Yeah, Real Muto was waiting to see if it would come back fair. He wasn't about to pick it up. So Reynolds has blasted the Nats into the lead. Severino trying to make contact to add to it. Meanwhile, the Brewers are taking a 10-6 lead over the Mets, and the Phillies are in a tie game late. Braves have lost. Severino swing and a miss. Ziegler keeping it down for the first out, and now it's Matt Adams.
I mean, ideally, you wanted to get the bunt down. But the strikeout, not the worst thing in the world, because now you got to pitch to Matt Adams. Now, second and third, 1 out. You're walking Adams to get to Defoe.
True.
Now Matt Adams has a chance to look for that bell-tie fastball and do some damage.
Adams 1 for 5 career with a walk against Brad Ziegler. At the knees. Tough pitch.
You can have that one. You don't want to swing at that till you have to.
This year for the Nats, Adams 2 for 11 with a couple of RBIs as a pinch batter. Oh, 1 ground ball right side off the glove of Boer. Scoring is Soto. Taylor to third. The Nats lead 3-1. A perfect redirect to keep the runners on the move.
How good is Matt Adams? How good is Mark Reynolds? I'm telling you, these two guys have been doing it. Matt since opening day. Mark Reynolds recently. But he got a chance to hit. He hit the ground ball hard. Maybe Michael A. Taylor ran a little interference there to Justin Bohr, but the redirect allowed Soto to score. And it's 3-1 and counting. Wilmer has a chance to drive in some more runs.
Has still only one out. Nats had 3 hits in 8 innings after Defoe went deep, and now they have 3 in the 9th. Ball 1, low and away.
Squeeze is in effect here.
Yeah, you got the runners to do it, don't you? The ones at third and in the batter's box.
It's easy to bunt a side armor if you're left-handed. Just saying.
Pickoff throw to third, seldom seen. Last time we saw that, Archie Bradley balked.
Yeah, Wilmer showed bunt too. He showed his hand. They might have to wipe it off here. He squared around.
Risky business there with the third baseman not right on the bag like a first baseman is.
Watch Wilmer. See him show bunt?
Late swing, 1-1.
Yeah, they wiped it off.
Pulled the bat back. Down the line came Taylor. Miguel Rojas came with him. 2 balls, 1 strike.
So it's all Michael A. Taylor is looking for is down angle on the squeeze. He just wants to see the ball go down. He's not going suicide squeeze. He just wants to see the ball on the ground. So he's going to extend here as far as he can with him holding and look for it down.
There it is, but it's right to the pitcher, and that makes it a fairly simple play for Ziegler to Real Muto for the second out.
And for those of you wondering, it doesn't matter if the Marlins know. If Wilmer bunts this to first and executes, look where Justin Bohr was. Michael A. walks home easily. It's hard to read. There's no time to read it. And Wilmer's upset with himself for not bunting that to first. But the element of surprise is irrelevant there if you execute it right.
Top of the order, Trey Turner, 1 for 4. 0 for 1 career against Ziegler. He's trying to bunt for a hit with 2 outs. So the Nats at least a 2-run pad for Sean Doolittle, who's been ready for the bottom of the 9th quite a while now. 7th batter in the inning. Turner to the gap in right center, and the Nats will lead 4-1. Scoring is Adams. To third is Defoe. Trey Turner a 2 for 5 night.
Well, I told you to change seats. Nightmare stay exactly where you are because the line is moving here in the 9th.
And the Nats have knocked out their closer, who was in a hold'em situation. Bryce Harper will be next, so it's either Conley or Garcia, you would think. The Nats in command by 3.
He's doing it on offense. He's doing it on defense. I'd be laughing too. Watch the shortstop-like exchange here on the plate of the plate. That's a guy that played a lot of shortstop in college. He's played third base, and watch him get rid of it cleanly. Everything's on the money. Pedro Severino with the great tag. Beautiful major league play there to keep it 1-1. Then he gets into a 3-1 count and absolutely pulverizes a baseball and hits one into somebody's mojito out there and left to put the Nats up 2-1. Stay hot, Mark Reynolds. Lumber and leather basically winning the game for the Nats. Give the bullpen credit, give Tanner credit, but Mark Reynolds came up clutch in the clutch.
And it's a right-hander Despaigne for Bryce Harper. Bryce 3 for 5 career against him. Despaigne came in the 8th inning last night. Bryce singled him up the middle. There's another runner at third. It's Defoe with 2 outs. Turner could be cutting it loose at first base as well. Got kind of a stepping lead and decided to stay.
Yeah, this isn't enough good news. Daniel Murphy's 1 for 2 in Harrisburg. Chew on that for a second.
I could almost hear the trumpet from the cavalry coming over the hill.
Tell you what, this game was a yawner for a while. It turned into an exciting Wago all of a sudden, didn't it?
1-1 with 2 outs. Bryce, a weird no contact day, 3 strikeouts, a walk last time.
Yeah, look at innings 8 and 9.
Yeah, Wilmer woke up the day, didn't he?
He did.
1 out homer. Tell you what, that guy keeps doing what he's doing in the number 9 spot. Nats pitchers will be batting 8th for how many years? Davey Martinez is the manager here.
Yeah, he's the spark plug. It's fun to watch play. I'm sure he's quickly becoming a lot of Nats fans' favorite player.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryce. Off speed got him. And that's it. But the Nats, a dramatic 3-run rally. Mark Reynolds, hey, we mentioned he's approaching 200. Now he's only 14 away. Pardon me, 300. Homer number 286. Starts against the Miami Marlins. 15-7, 3-1-3 in those games. And Steven will take to the mound tomorrow for the series finale. We'll join you at 1 o'clock. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Nats Extra on Matson 2. Eliezer Hernandez for the Fish. And if Sean Doolittle gets his thing done, Strasburg will be pitching for a sweep tomorrow. How about Sean last night? 5 innings save FP, 13 pitches to get 5 hitters, and he missed with a grand total of 1 pitch.
Yeah, you remember his last 5-out save was
5 innings would be a heck of a save. I meant 5 batters.
He's done that once already this year. So the doctor is in. Save opportunity. Here we go. Fastball, slider change. Fastball 90% of the time. 94 miles an hour on average.
Brian Anderson first, and that's strike one. Anderson popped up to first starting the 9th inning last night. So the doctor looking for number 11 here. That's a great 0-2 pitch. Jammed him. Pop up left side. Severino at the barrier, at the screen to make the grab.
Hard to find a more athletic catcher at the major league level than this guy. Watch him go over, totally disregard the safety and fall into the net. I mean, there's a net and there's also piranhas around his knees.
Did he make that catch right in front of Bruce Sherman, their chairman and principal owner? I think our crew tipped us off to that one. Next up, Miguel Rojas.
Doesn't like that ball.
Not, it's too flat, not round enough. When we get a ball game here in the next couple of days, when we have a little lull, we may talk about the recent findings of Major League Baseball and how the balls were indeed livelier, as many had suspected.
Yeah, there was no lull today for 8 innings.
Rojas lined out to second last night, ending the game. And Doolittle comes out a strike thrower 2 games in a row here. Into right. Defoe out, Harper in, Bryce plenty of time. 2 down, little flip over to Wilmer. And the Nats 1 out away from a series win and a chance for a sweep. Johnny Holiday, Michael Morse in the studio. Straight ahead when this one's over. Nats trying to get a win here for Justin Miller, who's the pitcher of record after he struck out Starlin Castro.
Yeah, he came in pumping strikes, mid-90s. Tim Collins made a big pitch to Justin Bour when he had to.
Yeah, a lot of heroes in this one after it appeared to be a very quiet afternoon. And by the way, the Nats are 1 out away from being 1 game out of first place. JT Riddle, the hitter. 1-1. Nationals trying to win their 16th road game out of 24 this year. And they're 9th in the last 10. That is not done often anymore, if ever. Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and it's over. The Nats come from behind with a dramatic Defoe homer to tie it, a dramatic Reynolds homer to win it. Then they tack on a couple, and Strasburg will try to pitch for a sweep tomorrow.
And 10 straight against the Marlins. And a lot of teams will say, oh, it's Chen's day, 1-0, shut it down, let's get it tomorrow with Steven on the mound. These guys fought, battled. Wilmer got him off the mat. Mark Reynolds with the knockout blow. The bullpen was money, just like Tanner Roark was today.
That's FP, and for Dan, Bob Carpenter. The Nats 4, the Marlins 1, and you never know, they could head to Baltimore, tight for first place tomorrow. We'll worry about that tomorrow, celebrating this one. The Strasburg game tomorrow. Coverage begins at 12:30. From the booth at 1, this has been a presentation of Maston, Johnny, and Mikey. Next.